Rookie Ducky defense attorney. Cell phone updated. She gave up trying to use the phone on the wall and just used her cell phone. Right. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. Would she not be out of view? I mean, she would have seen her, so, you know. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Okay. I'm very interested. Because if she ran behind the petition... Okay, so there... And then the floor plans. The bloody big picture. Dunk. I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. Get out of here, Edgeworth. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armour, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true... That's what I thought! Exactly! Okay. My logic wasn't flawed. I thought maybe I was messing something up. Or not seeing something. Couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Oh, she's cornered. Nice. I love this song so much. Order, order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Fucking hell, Edgeworth. He's very objection-happy, this case. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's what where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she saw it. Wait, what she saw? No, where she saw it. She tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. It would be pointless for her to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. The witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. In other words, Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Fucking hell, objections back and forth. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard up until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed the crime was here. Who the fuck did you get the photo from? Hold up, if she's not in Block B... Yeah, if she wasn't in... B Block, as it's actually called, then where the hell did that picture come from? Because that was taken from B Block. Whereas, I would say she was probably in here, because she'd have been able to see the telephone. But she wouldn't have been able to see what she was doing at the car, so... Huh. I'm just getting incredibly interested, but also kind of confused. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second level, so you can see the entire lot. Oh, right, never mind. I didn't know it was on the second level, I just assumed it was... Oh, that makes sense. So yeah, she would have been able to see everything. Still doesn't explain where the hell that picture came from, because that was from ground level. So yeah, very concerned about that. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honour. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in Abor. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said, you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could have turned, or could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr. She's very full of herself. So order. Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright? Doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Okay. Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station, but she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what would she change? Angle of view to the crime? No. Difference in lighting? Really? The only one that really makes sense would be the distance. The only thing that would change, well, the angle would change too, but that's irrelevant. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. Fucking hell, Edgeworth. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness? You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Oh my god, really? Wow. That explains the photo, actually. If she had to do that, then yeah, that does actually make sense. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. Probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? Oh my. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it, I have photographic evidence. I swear it on my finest plastic Spock. You have a point, and the Spock is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely! Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to... Oh god. Raise an objection. Woo. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. Or dente. Ah god, I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Oh god. But don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer, you would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way, it's inconceivable. Oh my god. We've dealt so many blows to her. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. She has a grudge against the defendant and there is a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth? Is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that... Oh, screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Whew! Hold it. I love when it does this. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. God, we hear this all the fucking time. If it's not a witness that's lying, it's decisive evidence that doesn't exist. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Whoa. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? God, this case is so weird already. It's incredibly strange. Like, we've got a chick that's giving lunchboxes to the fucking judge, the judge who's scarfing down caviar faster than you can say caviar. Ugh, her trying to foist off squid wheels to people. Either way, decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now... to the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was of course the victim's, and the other was the defendant Miss Lana Skye's blood. This shoe proves it. It's flawless decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. What the hell? Whoa. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. Well, she is an ex-detective, so, you know. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Sheesh. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You should know that the 2 rules of evidence law, Miss Starr. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can procure official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Uh-oh. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Sheesh. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding. It appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. Well, since you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. The victim's shoe. Can I check it while I'm in the trials, then? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Well, no, because I can actually examine stuff in 3D now, so I'm interested. Right, okay, so not present. Well, I have to go to present, don't I? Present the shoe. White enamel shoe. Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. Oh my god, I can check it. Nice! Right, zoom in first. Whoa! Okay, there's blood on the bottom too. This blood. It's my sister's, right? Yeah, it appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. There's blood here too, on the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Is this the same blood as the other? Blood here too! Yeah. There we go, we got some blood. My goodness. Either way, back to the matter at hand. So, mentioned there's 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Met the victim's shoe. 2 types of blood were found. Flawless decisive. Whenever they say something that sounds so certain, it's usually always a bunch of bullshit. Sure. Hold it! Ow. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. What the hell is this? You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole batch of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. What's wrong with the victim's shoe? There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. As always. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Oh my god, I actually do it this way? Oh, this is so cool! The problem is the blood on the shoe. Sole, even. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be blood on the bottom of my shoe. Or your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? There's no blood on the floor. So I guess that. The problem lies in the footprint. Also, if there was blood on the bottom of his shoe, there would be a blood footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. Fucking Edgeworth. Objection! This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. God, we've just gone back and forth. If there were bloody prints, they would have been found. We checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Bum 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 bum. Order, order, order. Well, witness? What, huh? Right going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Who said that? Oh, Edgeworth. Of course. I see! Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. She's beautiful but deadly, a predator this one, a leopard woman. Oh! I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? To wash away blood? I'm going to assume is what they'll say. You don't mean... Yeah, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. What do you know? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains on the left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, this guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So my sister's blood on the shoe. That's when it happened? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it. But... enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honour. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. True. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Okay, I was going to say something must happen. Wait, what? Little girl? What did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well... I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. But wait. Witness, don't tell me you have something else. You've reached your verdict, Your Honour. Any further comments will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare me, scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. Had this just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. We're gonna have Mia just pop up from nowhere, tell us that we're missing something. I'm sorry, Mia. What do you know? Haha. Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt, take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdict in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. Suppose, since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court... Wait, what's this? The problem with this photograph. Hang on a minute, the exhaust! Or whatever the hell it's known as. What? It looks like it's got liquid in it. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait, just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, you just said muffler. Oh! Alright, see you later, Pripta. Thanks for stopping by. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. The muffler is also part of a car, or part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, miss... Oh my god, I just realised. When Lana was on the phone, she mentioned the muffler. Is it evidence or something? Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? No, because she said she heard her say muffler on the phone. So she must have been telling somebody that there was something in the muffler of the car or something. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the case. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. That's why... Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah yes, when I arrested her she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. You're full of shit. Muffler? Oh god. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Whoa! Oh damn. That was one very damaging blow to her. Sheesh. Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all of the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew. That was close. But we made it. So, at least for now. The court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry. Oh my. Oh wow, that was that. Okay, it only took an